Okay, looks like we're live here. Hello, everyone. It's Saturday, and that means that we're coming to the end of our first week of our ADL 737 course, Information Technology Administration. I wanted to take a moment this morning to congratulate you on making it to the end of the first week. Although I am seeing some things inside the course, I just wanted to kind of go over with you to make sure that we're all set for the time when we get together next weekend. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for logging in. I see that some of you have gone into the course and spent some significant time inside of the course, and that's always wonderful. And I know that probably was very helpful for you to spend that time, especially if you're going over the syllabus and the assignments and watching some of the videos and reading the articles that I had set aside for you. A couple things that would be very helpful to me. Now, while you as a group have probably been together in many classes, I don't know you, and I'd like for you to take the time under the Getting Started to complete the This Learning Community Begins With You exercise. And let's see if I can, yeah, you can probably see this here. All right, it's this exercise here, and it starts off with you telling me a little bit about yourself and filling out about a seven questionnaire. It just helps me get to know you a little bit better before we get together. And then the second thing is that as you go through your modules, this week we spent time learning about the history of education technology, and for most of you probably found out that it really goes back much farther than you would think in regards to the different types of technology. Remember that technology doesn't have to be electronic, it just has to be a tool that we use to help us in our teaching and learning processes. So as we move forward, you're going to find that in modern times, especially today, those technologies many times go beyond the scope of what we even comprehend, and we have to learn a lot more about it. Sometimes it really feels like rocket science, and sometimes it is rocket science. So what I would really like for you to do is make sure that you have completed the reading. Now, the readings are all online. You do not have to have the textbook this week to complete the readings. I want you to go through the videos of the historical perspective. There's also at the very bottom of that module in week 1 is a pretty interesting brief overview of online learning infographic that I think does a nice job of taking us up to about 5 years ago. Now, later on in this course, we're going to spend much more time learning about the progression of online learning, including up and through MOOCs, or massively open online courses. So in addition to this week, I'd like for you to complete the class discussion. The class discussion this week is really centered around the concept of putting together a good technology plan, really any planning in higher education. Having a good plan in higher education is really important, not only to developing consensus among your peers and other stakeholders at the university and institution, but also it's really important for you to be able to gain and convince the stakeholders to invest in these projects. So without a great plan in place, not only do you run the risk of it not being successful as you move into the implementation phase, but it's going to be hard for you to get funding. So this first week really deals with how do we put together a fantastic plan that includes stakeholders, that plans from the concept, the prototyping, the development of the plan and testing of the technologies, all the way through the implementation and then the assessment of those technologies to see if they actually did what we hope they would do. So if you're able to do that threaded discussion before Sunday evening, that would be really wonderful. And that way we can hit the ground running next week when I see you. So thanks very much. I hope you had a wonderful week and you're starting to enjoy the content. As I had mentioned in my second announcement of the week, don't worry about the technology. Whatever you need to know, we're going to teach you how to do that and how to use those technologies. And I think you'll have a lot of fun along the way. So have a wonderful rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you next weekend.